Our next presenter will be Jeremy Kendrick with Digital Technology Partners.
Good morning. I'm Jeremy Kendrick with Digital Technology Partners. We are a dental IT company located here in Conyers, Georgia. And whenever I say dental IT company, what I mean by that is 98% of our clients are either dental practices or dental specialists. Whenever I say IT, some people don't really know what that term is, but that's computers, networks, servers, workstations. We take the hardware and we integrate the software into it, and then we support it. We support the practice from front to back with all of the services that you need. Today we're going to talk about cyber attacks, and this is a hot topic. How they've evolved over the last 30 years, what that means to your practice from a HIPAA and from a security standpoint, and also what you can do to protect your practice. I know for a lot of you, probably 6 or 7 years ago, the new terms from HIPAA started popping up, and just like you, we had to really dive in. We had to really understand what this meant from the high-tech side. HIPAA's been around for a long time. HHS has been around for a long time. But the new buzzwords of encryption, the new buzzwords of firewalls, are you doing backups, things like that, all of that started coming in to play about 6 or 7 years ago, and we've really dived in, we've really studied to get ahead of that game. When we look at cyber attacks over the last 30 years, the one thing that I really want you to pay attention to here is the behavior of the attacker. Now, the attacker 30 years ago was just a hobbyist. That has now moved on into a recreational activity back in the 90s, into a malicious activity, and now straight up criminal. Now, whenever we say criminal, we mean money. It's all about money these days. When you're attacked with the most recent attacks, you're gonna have a request to pay money to get out of those attacks. Let's talk about a few of the new attacks and how they're getting into the system. The criminals are taking a lot more time these days in their attacks. They're not just spreading out viruses and hoping that they get something. They're hanging around. They're learning. Phishing is one of the ways that they do that. They'll send you tricky emails, and they'll try to get you to give up your credentials. I had a phishing email last week. It looks very, very real. Okay. Whaling is another thing that they do. As they're hanging around the practice, they're learning they're learning the organization, the chart. They're going to go after the doctor. They're going to go after the specialist. They're going to go wherever they can to get more money. Ransomware. In 2013, CryptoLocker hit, and that's really what changed this market. That's really what made this criminal. So ransomware, if you're not aware, is it's an infection that comes in, it encrypts your data, and it holds it hostage. So it will leave you a note on your computer saying, pay us $3,000, $5,000, and we'll unlock it and give it back. Now you're negotiating with a criminal, so if you don't have good backups, you really have to pay the ransom, and then you really have to hope that the criminal is honest. So, which, by the way, most are, because they want a little bit of, they have to keep a little bit of reputation just so people keep paying these ransoms. By the way, if you didn't hear, the city of Atlanta was hit with ransomware last night. They have not stated if they're going to pay the $51,000 to get their data back. But criminals are smart, and that's what we talk about. Leakware is the next stage, and that's really extortionware. This is where they take your data, they open it up, and they say, okay, you pay us $10,000 or we'll just sell your patient data on the dark web. So it's very, very dangerous. Malware as a service, anybody can go to the dark web and start their own virus company, basically, and start launching attacks. There's consultants there to help criminals get started. 8 million new viruses are launched every month. So if they do get your data, then now we're into breach territory, and what happens if you have a breach. Most of you probably know this, but you have to notify HHS. You have to start an audit. You have to notify all your patients in writing. You have to pay the IT company to put things back together. You have to answer the calls from the patients who are wanting to know why you shared their data, and then those HIPAA fines can get up to $1.5 million. So it's not a fun process. The first step that you should take to make sure that your practice is safe is a meaningful risk assessment. And you may say, Jeremy, that's great because we did that. And we got a firewall and we got backup and we encrypted our email. And I'll say, that's wonderful. You encrypted your server. What did you do about the PHI on the front desk machines? What if somebody comes in and steals that machine? You encrypted your email. What did you do about the free email address that you're still using? You started a backup plan, but who's testing those backups? And you got a firewall, but was it a business-grade, UTM-grade firewall? What I mean by that is, are you working with an IT company that understands dental IT? What are ways that you can secure your practice? Well, HIPAA consulting is a big benefit of doing that, and that's something that we can help you do. We also do all of those other things that I mentioned. We do the business-grade email. We do email encryption. We do server encryption. We do software updates, automatic patching. We do roaming and redirected profiles, meaning we take all the PHI off of the workstations back to the server that's encrypted. You have to really go a step further. The new product that we want to introduce today is synchronized security, and what that means is all the endpoints inside the practice talk to one another. So we partnered with Sophos. Sophos is the world leader of cybersecurity. With their deep learning technology, it's not just about knowing the new virus that comes in. Remember, I told you 8 million a month. Each one of those is assigned a signature, and the antivirus knows the signature, it blocks it at the wall, but what if it doesn't? With deep learning, with Sophos, it acts more from a behavioral analysis standpoint. So it actually watches the computer, and if the computer starts acting up, Sophos will actually stop the infection and revert the computer back into a safe mode. With InterceptX, we have ransomware specific protection in place. And whenever I say all the endpoints inside the office talk to one another, a good example of that is if Hygiene 2 computer gets an infection, the firewall automatically knows this, and the firewall will shut down the internet traffic to that computer that's in Hygiene 2. That's very important. That means that your information is not able to get back out to the internet to be shared. So why choose DTP? Well, we are cost effective. We've been in business for 13 years. We support 500 dental practices. We have a staff of 42. We love dental IT. It's what we do. We eat it, we breathe it, we sleep it every day, day in, day out. We have a full help desk. I told you we have 42 employees. We do everything from computer support, so we have that first line of support for you when you call in, and we do full monthly service agreements that takes care of everything in your practice from an IT standpoint. This is an important slide to us because when we talk about HIPAA, we talk about protecting the PHI inside the practice. Ultimately, everything that we do is about the patient, right? So protecting their PHI is very, very important. We are a business associate of yours, but we feel more like a covered entity. So we say it's our job together. It's not just the law, it's our moral duty to protect that PHI. We're at booth 526. We would love for you to come by and see us. We do have a Hinman show special. If you come by and you see us, you talk to us about support. If you end up going on support, we're giving away those firewalls. That's a $600 value. So come by, see us. We also have a couple iPads there. Come by, take our quiz. We're giving away some prizes there, and there's some drawings, so a lot of fun. Thanks for your time.